Parsers are the critical components in a large language model. We have comma separated parser, JSON string parser, and Pydantic parser. Assume that we have a three large language model and each models are chained together. The first model will accept the user input, that will process it, then it will pass it to the second large language model. In that case, the second model may require the input in a desired format. It can be a dictionary or a list or a string, or even in a comma separated manner. In that case, the first large language model, we will process the data, and that data we need to pass it through a filter or called a parser, so that we will get the desired output in the first model and it will pass it to the second large language model. Let's consider these three examples so that we all will be in same page. Good day guys, my name is Melvin Satishan. Today we are going to discuss about output parsers. Okay, so let's import our favorite LangChain Python modules. For that, from LangChain Olama, we need to import Chatolama. Okay, so from LangChain core, we need to import the prompts. Let's say we have few methods we need to import it. First is human for human message prompt template, that is for human interaction. System message prompt template for the system level or the AI level. Then human chat prompt template for chat level. Okay. Next we are going to import Pydantic. Okay. In that we need a method called base model and the another called field. Next we have to go for from LangChain core dot output parsers import. We have three parameters. One is JSON output parser, next is Pydantic output parser, third is going to be our comma separated list output parser. Okay, so we imported this three modules. As of now it is fine, so let's import it. Then we will go for creating our large language model here. For that we need to do that. Already, as you know, already our llama is running in our base machine, so that it will be http://127.0.0.1:11434 a support number. Okay, so and the model that we are going to use here is llama 3.2:3 billion. Okay, now we will be assembling this. For that, LLM equals chat Olama, and here base URL equal to base URL, and model equal to model. Okay, now our LLM is ready. If you do this, you are able to see a object here, right? Perfect. Our next step is going to be a creation of template. So before that, let's do this exercise. Here we have the Pydantic, and here we have the base model and field, right? So let's create a class It's let's say that data model. Okay, and inside this data model I'm going to say that, okay, I'm going to import this base model. In this, what we are going to do, let's say that name, it should be a string equal to, here is the field, we are going to define a field, what are all the or a meaningful description, I would say. Okay, name of the candidate. Okay, so it will take the name of the candidate. Next is age. Age should be integer, right? And here we will mention that all right, so age of the candidate. All right, so and we will say birth place. Okay, birthplace can be again a string equal to field description equals birthplace of the candidate. Okay, so we have this three parameters, and here one more thing I would like to show you. Assume that you don't need to provide, these are the mandatory parameters. Suppose you would like to pass some optional parameters. In that case, you can import from typing, you can import options, optional. Okay, so that you can pass like this, or well, let's say salary, right? So in this we can pass optional. For that, before that I need to execute this. So this is optional. I will mention integer equal to field description equal to, the salary is optional. Okay, now we will say default value, we will say 0. Okay, so salary is perhaps we may not be interested to mention our salary, right? Now we will go and create this model parser equal to Pydantic parser. So we have already imported this Pydantic output parser. So inside that we have certain methods, right? So we will do Pydantic object, because this is going to be an object basically. So the data model is going to be an object. That object is having this key, this key, this key, and this key, and whatever the parameters that we or input we would be passing it from there, it will generate the value with respect to that. Okay, now in this case we have data model is going to be our Pydantic object. Perfect. Now we will be gonna create let's say that instruction or yeah, instruction equal to parser. Let's get this. Okay, get format instructions. So this is basically will say what is to be done, right? Now if I do this, I can see how it is going to be modeling our input. Okay, the output should be formatted as a JSON instance that conforms to the JSON schema below, and these all will be the desired values. Okay, now that we will come to that point. No, nothing to worry. I'm just showing you that so far so good. All right, now we are going to do a template. Here it is prompt. We haven't done that. Prompt template. Okay, So prompt template. So here we have first parameters template. You are a text processing, text analyzing and processing expert. You will find name, age, comma, birth, place, and salary from the input. If you do not know the value, just mention the default value according to the data type. Okay, let's see, let's tell this part. We will inform our model to do this exercise, and let's see how it behaves. Okay, and we are here, and the first thing we have to provide is format underscore instruction. Okay, because we need to define that whatever the input that we would be passing it, so we have to provide a context, right? So but not only context, this is basically we are telling to the model that you have to do this exercise, right? And once you do this, how you need to do that, or how you need to format it, that is what the format instruction does here, right? Next parameter here is going to be input variables. So input, and one more thing is going to be here. We can say that input, I'll say input is going to be input value. Okay, this is my input value, and here we have the input variables, and so for that we are going to give this input value, and let's mention how answer as well. So answer is going to be printed here. So here we have the input value. Next we have partial variables. So the partial variables, in the sense this format instruction, how do we need to do this part, right? So for that we can pass this parameter parser get format instruction. Since we have already assigned this value to this instruction, so we will pass that value to this instruction. So here it is, format instruction. That's that value is going to be instruction, because we are going to pass this. You have to do this basically. So once we inject this partial variables over here, it will go and fit into this part, and once we provide this input variable here, it will go and fit into this input, so that we will get the answer here. So that is a overall exercise that we are gonna do. Okay, we have done that. Well, now we are going to do a chain. We are going to create a chain from this. So how do we do the chain? Template, then we are going to do LLM. Then here we have already created a parser, right? So this data model and the parser, this Pydantic parser data model. So this filter we are passing it over here so that it will be injecting it to the template. So let's do that first. Now response equal to chain dot invoke. Here we go. What is our value? Here we are providing the input value, right? So only we have provided everything else, only we need to provide input variable, because instruction we have already provided from here, right? Here the instruction is there though, and the parser part and instruction is already there, but additionally we are taking it into a proper parser format as well. So let's do input value. Input value, I'm going to tell that my name is Melvin Satishan. I am from Kerala. I born and brought up in Alapura. Okay. So we are almost done. We are brought up in Alapura. Okay. Well, so we have our key values, right? Now we will execute this. Let's see if it is throwing any error or not. And I'll pass this as well. And let me pause this video for a minute until we get the result. So guys, now I have done certain modifications here because earlier we gave pretty much detailed instructions here. So the model landed into a hallucination mode. So what we have done is we just simplified the entry and we are testing it. Okay, so I'm just gonna give the output. I'm gonna execute it again. So let's see what is happening here. I'll pause for another minute too. If you look at it, we have received an update here called response, and here the name has been detected. Here it's a string, age is an integer, and birthplace is again a string, and salary, since we haven't mentioned there, and it's an optional parameter, so it mentioned as none. Okay, now coming into the other segment, right? Here it is basically a Pydantic output parser. So we have received the value in the form of a text output. Now let's consider the other method, or I will retain this as it is. Let's go to the next template. Here it is. I'm gonna do this Pydantic output parser to JSON output parser. Okay, and this is basically the parser, so I need to pass this variable over here. So this parser will pass it here. That means it's going to be a JSON output parser. Okay, and what I will do is I'll call the same function here, and I'll call the same thing here as well. So what's happening here is it's basically this model is loading it here as a JSON schema, And the chain, again we are loading this chain with this template and passing it through the parser. So and finally we are invoking the chain again. So let's see what would be the output here. Okay, I'm just executing it again and we will observe what's gonna happen. I'll pause this video for another second so that video will not prolong forever. So here we have received the output. If you look at here, it's a text output, and when it comes to the JSON output parser, so it's in the form of JSON format, and here the value has been, here it is salary is 0, and here the value has been is no more, right? So what we can do here is, next we will go for CSV format. So again the same procedure we will continue. Instead of this parser, I'll put it here, and we'll take out comma separated list output parser. Okay, this is going to be the CSV parser, and we would be passing this value over here. The same chain, we will run it again, and we need to provide the necessary output so that it will be intact. Then let's see the response. Right, so we have the first one is going to be the Pydantic parser, the second one is going to be the JSON output parser, and the third one is going to be the comma separated list output parser. Okay, so we have the three outputs, right? So let's execute it again, and indeed I'll pause for a minute until it gets completed. Okay guys, if you look at it here, the first Pydantic output parser is completed, second it is completed as a JSON output parser, and the third is going to be completed as a CSV. And you might have noticed, right, earlier it didn't provide us a value salary here, right? So that's those issues are depends on the model, right? These all are the algorithm, the backend algorithms are being processed, so we have to set the temperature values and all. We need to do certain fine tunings to get the desired result. Okay, that we will discuss later. So the ultimate goal of this video or the session is to understand what is output parser and how do we apply an output parser to a large language model, and how do we get the desired result. Now you are very clear. Assume that if you want to inject this data to, or if you want to pass this data to some API endpoints, you know very well, because you have a JSON output. This JSON output, you will chain it with another large language model, which will be calling the tool, right? So this way we can achieve the goal, right? So these three output parsing models are very important. Next we are going to discuss about chat history. How do we design a chat model with the history, right? So that is our next video. So thank you so much for your time, and let me know if you have any queries or something. Okay, so practice this couple of times so that you will be all right. Thank you guys once again, and have a great day. Bye bye.